If you ever struggled to finish a big project, whether it's building a YouTube channel or developing a video game or even something simple like configuring your Arch installation, this video is for you. I'm going to show you a system that even the laziest person can use to get things done, no motivation required. See, I have this simple system for finishing projects that I call the anti-productivity system. It's ridiculously easy to start, and no matter how lazy you are, you can follow this system to finish any project you set your mind to. To quickly summarize, there are only 2 steps to this system. Make a list, schedule it. For make a list, you break down large complex projects into smaller and smaller pieces until you have a list of simple, easy to do tasks that take little to no time to finish. Then schedule each task for an entire day, so you have so much time to finish that simple task that you'll feel stupid for not doing it. I explained how it works in detail and how I use it for my YouTube channel on my previous video, so check that out if you want an in-depth explanation. But for this video, I want to talk about the difference between working on a small project like a YouTube video versus a multi-year long project like game development. So let me take you through how I approach video game development now. The basics still remain the same. You're still breaking things down into manageable chunks and scheduling them. This is a bottom-up approach though. And for a large project like a video game, you also need to have a top-down view so you don't miss the forest for the trees. So how does that work? First, you need a release date. If you've been following this channel, you probably already have one. If not, now's a good time to set one. Like I said in my video about making your dream game, I recommend a year from the day of you watching this video. You might think it's too short or too long, it doesn't matter. If it feels too short, your scope is too big and you need to make a smaller game. If it feels too long, then you'll have plenty of time to polish it and make it the best game you can. Either way, I give you 1 year. Now let's apply my system to this. Make a list. We can split game development into 3 neat chunks: pre-production, production, and post-production. Now that we've made a list, you need to schedule it. The exact split will depend on your personal preference and the game you're making. But for my game, I'm doing 4 months for each section. This isn't set in stone, I'm already way behind schedule. And as you work, you'll figure out which sections take more or less time. This is just a rough estimate. Realistically, production will probably take me 6 months and post-production around 2. But knowing the exact timeline is nearly impossible, even for the greatest of game developers. So don't worry about it. If you have to delay the game, delay it. If you finish early, use the time for marketing and polish. So now we've got a roadmap. That's great. But let's get even more practical. We haven't gotten to the day-to-day tasks yet, so let's go back to making a list. Let's subdivide. Next, plan out each month. For my game, Wizard Core, I spent January on documentation, February on basic player and enemy prototypes, March on dialogue, health and spellbook prototypes, and April on graphics, sound and other stuff. Did I need a whole month for each of these? No, I could have done them all in a week. A more experienced game dev could have done it all in a day. But we're here to be lazy, not productive, so I've taken my time. You don't need to plan your whole year right now. Just focus on the current month. Make a list of systems you want to finish by the end of this month. Then you need to divide it per week. Well, it's not going to line up exactly with a week. Some system takes longer, some systems shorter. And it's hard to estimate from the top down. So let's switch back to a bottom-up approach. So we'll make the list first. Take one system and list out every single task you need to do for that system. For example, I was working on the health and damage system, and these are the tasks I needed to finish. Player health, enemy health, player hitbox and hurt box, enemy hitbox and hurt box, and finally some form of health management system. Once you make the list, you schedule it. Assign each of these tasks to a single day on the calendar. If you think it will take longer than a day, then you need to subdivide the tasks more. Once you finish those tasks, move on to the next system. Is this slower than doing it all in one day? Of course. But this way you won't burn out on game development, and no matter how lazy you are, you'll still make some progress. So that's my system. Make a list, schedule it. The secret is turning game development into a habit. Work on your game a little bit every day, and by the end of the year, you'll have a full game. Or at least something close to it. And every day, each task is so simple that you'll have plenty of time to do other things. Like work a full-time job, run a YouTube channel, learn Japanese, meditate, read a book, or get all the achievements in Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. I perfected this technique over the last year and I'm using it in full for game development this year. There's still a lot more I can learn and a lot more you can teach me. So please leave any suggestions or good advice you have in the comments. Also drop any questions you have about the system. In the last video, multiple people asked, what if I'm too lazy to make a list? Which is absolutely peak laziness. And trust me, I've been there. So I'll make a whole video answering those questions and more next month. So subscribe and hit the bell if you don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching.